back to the second episode of the Alchemy podcast. On today's episode, we will be talking to four hosts of the newly released SpongeBob SquarePants the movie Rehydrated. The hosts consist of Retro,
Hello,
Kane,
Hello.
Nick,
Hi.
and last but not least, Pasta Dash Creations.
Sorry. Hi. It's just so funny. You were like, Nick. That was funny.
How is everyone doing today?
Yeah. Okay.
I'm fine. Brilliant.
Good. I'm clean.
So, our first question comes to, with your collaboration taking 2 years to make, what were some of the trials and tribulations you encountered during that time?
Yeah, okay, so there's like a lot of things that went wrong. I mean, like, when you're dealing with upwards of like 300 to 400 people, there's so many different personalities mixed in, and nobody's getting paid, so nobody's taking it 100% seriously except for the staff members and maybe the odd, like, people involved in everything. But, you know, everybody has their own lives and stuff, so, you know, it took a lot to get everybody organized, and, you know, even the reason why we delayed so much was because of people not turning things in on time and stuff. That was a big problem.
Yeah, and the fact that there was another team that was hosting it before us, that caused a lot of, like, tribulations as well. Like, we had to retime all of the scenes and stuff.
But yeah, when we took it over from the old staff, there was like a lot of issues that we had to correct. Like, there were so many people who had either like started making scenes or made scenes that were like low effort, low quality, and clearly a lot of them didn't really care much about what they were doing. And that's, you know, that's something that we cared a lot about. We wanted everyone's work to be like, you can see the care that was put into it. Because once we took it over, we were like, all right, this is now a project not just for Steven Hillenberg, but it's also to help promote all of these artists. Because at the time, I was just getting out of school and I really needed something to help me boost my online presence and also give me an excuse to like work on some things that would flesh out my resume and stuff. And yeah, I really wanted that to be for everybody. So that was like a really important thing to me. But quality like mattered to all of us, you know. When you're making a tribute to somebody who like meant a lot to a lot of people, you want it to be taken seriously.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
And I feel like, you know, I attribute the fact that a lot of people were actually interested in the project in the first place, keeping up with it and stuff, to the fact that there were so many like really good and creative scenes in it. If we'd kept all those previous scenes in, I don't think that people would have cared about it much longer.
Yeah, I don't think that we would have gotten enough of a following and enough like passion from our viewers to get it back up after it was taken down, or any of that other kind of stuff.
Even if we had done that, and if we had kept all of those scenes, despite, you know, the scale of it being the whole film recreated, we really wanted this to be good, not just, you know, fine, not just, you know, like all right, like a fine reanimated project. We wanted it to be genuinely good, something we could be proud of.
Yeah, and something that the artists could use on their resumes and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm really glad with the reception that we've been getting. A lot of people are definitely noticing the efforts that are being put into it. So that's something really nice.
Yeah.
Another like trial and tribulations I want to mention. Like all five of us, we love each other, but like I think of you guys as like very close friends now. But like we've kind of had like our moments where like we just kind of on the same wavelength. And
are you
came in
gonna
as
really
host.
say we? Are you gonna really say we, or are you just talking about me retro?
Okay, I'm not gonna name anyone, but we all love each other. We all love each other. But there have just been times where we haven't really all been on the same wavelength, and I think that, and like when I started as a host and just kind of walking into that, I was like, oh, buddy, like, whoa, okay, but
Yeah,
like,
I just want to say, by the way, I just want to point out that Nick was completely incredible because he actually joined like a lot later than like the other hosts, and he put in so much work. Like we wouldn't have been able to finish the project if he hadn't joined at the time that he did. So
thank you.
Yeah. On that same note, I feel like every host like had their own little like time period where they put in so much work that they like worked themselves to the bone, like to the core.
yeah.
And like in the beginning when it was like a problem and we had to fix all the stuff, that was somebody's moment. And then once that person got burnt out, like it was the next person's job to keep things going. And then voice acting and music started, and all of these different server events that kept the people in the community involved in everything and the hype up. And then there was someone who was like super big on sound. And then of course, Nick, when he came in, he was kind of like a cleanup guy. Like he was helping us get on track to release around the due date.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because he came in like in November. We were originally supposed to release in November, but then because of certain tasks, we didn't know the scale of them at the time. We didn't realize the scale. We had to delay it later, but like we grinded in those past leading up to November and leading up to May 1st.
Yeah, the extra 6 months.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it's definitely been like a struggle learning like the time management, but also at that same time, when we were going to release, we had a couple of scenes that still weren't done too. So it wasn't like just that whole scale thing. It was also the whole, it's hard to...
Yes, some people hadn't submitted.
Yeah, it's hard to take control of all these people, especially when it's not their job to do it, so...
Yeah.
And showing urgency on like 400 plus people, it's wild.
Exactly. And we had to do like so much with each of them as well. We had to get them, anyone who made a scene before we had to retime the scene, we had to get all of them to retime their stuff, like their scenes, or we had to do it for them. And then we had to get all their personas information. We had to get the tribute wall stuff. We had to get like a lot of effort went into contacting just one person, so you can imagine how much went into contacting like all 400 and how we had to organize and keep on track of every single person.
Oh yeah.
In some cases, some weren't on Discord, our primary means of communication. So occasionally, they had to be contacted via email or Facebook or of various other means. But I mean,
yeah, some even gave us their phone numbers.
Yes.
Yeah, call me.
But it was a nightmare keeping track of all of those people that were like outliers. But it worked in the end.
I mean, it was when we had to like cut all those people who originally thought they had a scene, but then that was back before we like took over. The fact that we had to cut all of them, we had to cut all of the previous voice actors and replace them with new ones and stuff like that.
Yeah,
It
there's
was-
still saltiness we get for that. But
Yeah,
Kind of a hard
100%.
feeling too, I'm sure, because it's like you feel bad to do all that, but it's like we want to improve quality.
it was for the good of the project, and also like, like we gave everyone plenty of notice and explained the whole thing several times, and there were still so many people that were like, wait a minute, do I not have a scene? And they were like expecting us to tell them on individual basis, when it's like, you just have to like read the document yourself, like you can't ask us for individual information, because we're already doing that like on 10 different other tasks. So
a main thing of like having like so many like 5 or so hosts is that each one has their own I guess strengths or priorities, and so you have to like coordinate that, and quite often some of them would clash.
okay, I was just gonna say, like, it was like a miracle that we all ended up being the hosts, because all of us, like, we just fell into a partnership. Like, we all knew exactly how to work together. Like, even with the whole like differences between us, we all knew, like, we were all on the same page on like what was best for the project and like what we had to do to make it happen. And like, I swear I could not have asked for like a better team to work with.
Oh, us too. I mean, yeah, we're all like fully committed people, 100%. Like, I feel like it was just perfect, us coming together. And like you, I'm the exact same. I couldn't have asked for better people to work with.
Yeah, me too. You guys are great, and I feel like this project has taught me a lot about like working on a team setting and like project management, things like that.
Yeah, that's definitely something that I really like cherish. That's what I want to do. Eventually, I want to be like a director or producer, something like that,
Yeah.
So this gave me like a lot of chance to learn those kinds of skills.
During the premiere, your video was strucken down by Paramount, who blocked it from the whole platform. What was your reaction to the takedown? Potentially knowing that your 2 years of effort may have been gone to waste.
The way that I heard about this was actually from Sasha. So I was in my living room. I was actually having some friends over to come watch it, and including one of our animators, Sloppy Joe. Shout out to you, you're awesome. But yeah, Sasha had messaged me and was like, yeah, the movie is like down on YouTube. And I was like, what? No, it's not. I'm watching it right now. So I didn't know that during a premiere. Basically what happened, it was a live premiere, and if you were to refresh it after about 30 minutes when the premiere started, it would just say that it was down. But if you were in that premiere and didn't refresh your page, then you'd be able to watch to the end. So there were people still able to watch it, and I think the entire chat was just saying like, don't refresh. And it was crazy.
Well,
but
some of them were saying, please refresh, like, and a lot of kids fell
that's
for
just
it.
me. Yeah, that's
I
just me.
know.
But when this was happening, I kind of like ran to my computer, and luckily we had kind of like a backup plan to like post the movie on Newgrounds in case something like this happened. And I just kind of started like uploading it onto Newgrounds, and I was like updating people in our Discord server, just saying like, guys, hold on, it's gonna be up soon. It ended up getting up pretty much right after the premiere ended, so a small group of people were able to see the premiere, and then it was kind of opened up to everyone else there. But that's kind of just like the story of it. Obviously, we hate that it happened, but we had a lot of support, and honestly, the support is kind of what gave us a lot of our popularity, I feel like. I mean, we got to like number 5 US trending that night. It was incredible.
That was crazy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, didn't we trend like again a couple days later when they took it down again?
We trended twice because we made the tweets. The biggest tweets that we have on Twitter are from us talking about how the movie got taken down. From like the first one with the post about the screenshot and it's saying that it's been taken down by Paramount, saying not to refresh, and then the other one that says, "Oh, we were blocked again," what's going on. Those are our two biggest tweets because obviously that's when people were the most like pissed off about the situation.
Yeah, everybody loves dirty laundry.
Yeah. So yeah, we were kind of, well, I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I was pretty panicked when it first happened.
Oh, of course.
Because I'd been like updating people on the Twitter leading up to the movie's release, saying like, because we were premiering it, but we were like uploading it at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it like, or it was processing or something. So we had to like update them all the way up to the release so that they wouldn't be like, oh well, the movie hasn't come out, I guess it's not coming out. And then when it got strucken down, it was kind of like, oh well, crap, you know, we built up so much hype for this, and now it's all for nothing. So we sent out that tweet, we sent out the hashtag, and then it was like a day later that it got back up on YouTube, right?
Yeah.
For a while, yes. I think it was back down again later.
Yeah, it was up for a couple of days, I believe, like back up for a couple of days, and then got taken down again, and then got lifted again. And all the YouTube Kids stuff on top of that was a complete nightmare. Because I don't know if this is like common knowledge, but YouTube Kids, when something gets marked as YouTube Kids, it's like the viewership for it just totally takes a nosedive. It stops getting recommended in people's pages, like when they're watching a video, it stops coming up on the side and stuff like that.
Yeah, we couldn't have comments because, yeah.
Exactly, that was such a bummer because people were leaving such lovely comments and we loved reading through them. Yeah, and then that was just gone, you know, and it was like YouTube and didn't even care about, you know, how those people felt. Or
weren't the original comments like erased because of that?
No, I believe they're back up. All the comments that people commented when it first went on. Thankfully, I thought that was going to be the case as well, but
that's good. I never actually checked on that.
Even the premiere chat is still up, so that's really good.
Yeah.
I had a feeling it would be taken down, but I was surprised it was like mid-premiere. Because
like the most shady thing they could have done.
You know, I was really, I don't know if you guys remember, but while we were premiering it, I was really wanting us to like stay through the checks. You know how it was getting copyright checked, like to check.
Yeah.
I wanted us to stay and see if it got copyright checked first, but I'm so glad that we didn't do that now, looking back at it, because then it may just have never gone up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, if we would have waited, then we wouldn't have had anything to premiere.
Yeah.
And no outrage to get us back up and up to 1 million views.
Exactly. I think it was like half an hour into the premiere that it happened as well, right?
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah.
I really appreciate that there were people already in the premiere who, you know, could see it through like all the way without the takedown, even if it had happened while it was going on.
Yeah.
And the community response to the whole thing was absolutely amazing.
Absolutely, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, the community really stepped up. Like, we love you guys. Thank you.
Absolutely.
It just goes to show how much people love SpongeBob. You know.
Absolutely.
So, through the 2 years of production, or however long you guys have been hosts, what would you have considered you have learned during the production?
Okay, I think what I would say, personally, is the next time, if I ever do a project like this, which I'm not even sure I will, but the next time, from the get-go, I'm going to make sure that it's fair use, because all this like crap with like, you know, first of all, getting taken down and stuff, and then like all the, you know, a lot of big YouTubers have like made videos about how we're in the wrong and stuff like that. So you know, even though it's totally, we're morally in the right, you know, I would just steer clear of even going near copyrighted IPs from now on.
Absolutely.
So much to deal with.
It's Jasmine.
Yeah.
Just kidding. No, yeah, I definitely, I learned a lot. There was so much that this whole project, like, exposed me to. And, I'm really glad for it because it's given me so much, like, to change me, like, to shape me as an artist. And I think that, like, the most that I learned was from the community themselves, because we had a lot of channels in our Discord where people could, like, share art tips and stuff. And not just that, but to see, like, everyone else's art styles changing, or all the different
absolutely
that other artists had. That's, I think, where I learned the most, artistry wise. But then I'm also just so glad to have been thrown into the fucking Thunderdome. Like, you know, thrown into a project where it was, like, in terrible condition. We had to fix it all up and everything. And we did it. We fixed everything. We got everyone, like, recognition that they deserved. We got our video up. We got our video to stay up. And I don't know. There's just so many things that we got to do, and, like, learning by example was difficult at most times, but oh my gosh, it was so rewarding.
As for me, this sounds cheesy, I know, but I guess I would say that I learned to be a better friend.
Oh, retro.
But no, like, in all seriousness, like, all of you guys mean the world to me, man. Like, all of the hosts, and, like, and all of the crew, and, like, just I could not be being, like, more sincere of when I say that, like, you guys genuinely mean the world to me, and just being able to learn from you guys amid all of the clashing and blah 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 blah, all that stuff. You know, it made me better, man. It made me better, and I will always treasure the friendships I've made, and the people I've connected with from this project. Like, you guys are all wonderful, and it helped me see different perspectives, basically, and understand them and work with them, and things along those lines. Yeah.
I agree, yeah.
Oh, we love you, brother.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah.
This is probably, so far, one of the best things that's ever happened in my life. There's just way too many things that were, like, so rewarding that happened, like, throughout this project. And this is, like, who I am and, like, what I'm all about. I love leadership, and I love creativity, and I love supporting others, and I love, like, nurturing them so that they can, like, get better at what they want, at what they also adore, you know? And so I would say that this is, like, one of the best things that I've ever done, and that's ever happened to me. And I, like, you know, a big part of that also is the people that I worked with, and yeah.
It's all downhill from here.
Oh no.
Ouch.
Honestly,
But I'm right there with you, honestly. Like, this has been one of the, like, just this whole community has just been one of the most positive, like online experiences I've had with people, and just working on the project. And I've just, yeah.
one of the things that I've noticed with reanimate projects is, like, all the people you meet are eventually gonna probably show up somewhere later in life, and like you're gonna recognize them. Like, hey, remember when you were in this, or like, remember when you helped me with this? Like, some people when they're starting out, like their first reanimate project, they're not exactly. Maybe they're not expecting to like make any like connections or friends, but along the way, like the people you meet and the people that you know from that project, eventually they like keep stepping up and they keep helping you in ways that you wouldn't even know.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, I can attest to that. You know, this is my first reanimated project. Like I agree, like that's exactly the experience I've had too.
Absolutely.
You could actually say that about the industry as well. The industry is very small. You're going to end up working with like a lot of the same people throughout your entire career.
Absolutely. Thing about like these kinds of projects is that you do build connections and you build friendships and things along those lines. And so suppose I want to work with someone and they like their experience that they had with you, or you see something in them, or some employer sees their scene that can be beneficial in getting a job in the industry, as has been seen with a couple of the people we've had on board, a couple of the people we've had on the project have already during the project's inception or conception gone on to do like proper like industry jobs, including some on the show. On the show proper.
Yes, SpongeBob SquarePants.
Yes.
Yeah. That's something I'll never stop bragging about. Like, oh yeah, guess what? Some of our artists got on the official team. Like, that's just the craziest thing ever.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not gonna like say that Rehydrated is the reason why. I'm kidding, but like, no, yeah, it's, and they all totally deserved it too. What?
Yeah. I was just saying, like, it makes you proud of them, like, because they were working with us. And look at them now. It also makes you hopeful that, like, other people can also achieve that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
No, yeah. It definitely wasn't just Rehydrated that made him get the job. Of course not. But, like, just getting the chance to, lead these people in a project and then find out that they got this huge opportunity and you've been talking to them like since before that, and like that's so rewarding, is to like see friends get all of these successful like positions and stuff like that and recognized and all that other junk.
Definitely.
Yeah.
With your collab taking as long as it did to make, is there anything different you would have done while hosting the project?
That's a good one.
Well, yeah, I think if we in general had well, it's hard to say because we took it over rather than like started it from fresh on our own.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. I think like if we had started it fresh, we would have gone things in a completely different way. It's the fact that we had to take over and like rearrange things. That's a big reason why we did certain things the way we did.
Indeed.
I feel like we did a lot of the things as best as we could. Like we got, at least 2 ways of contacting every single person, and it worked for the most part. Like there were some people who just ghosted us, and we had a lot of like really good systems in place. But I guess if there's anything that I would have wanted to redo is like not take for granted or like just assume that something or like the difficulty of a certain task, especially like how we did with the audio, because we kind of like neglected it for a little too long, trying to focus on everything else. And then it was too late, and we had like a huge issue trying to get all of the sound effects in, and then the music, and then the dialogue, and then we had to put it all together. And you know, the way that we exported it from all the different systems that we use, it didn't line up perfectly, so we had to do like all those tweaks there and that kind of stuff, you know.
Yeah.
There's definitely cringe in the last few weeks.
Your project has been a touchstone of the reanimated community, inspiring many to create their own projects just like yours in a matter of a few weeks. Do you have any of these hosts that might help them?
Okay.
Always get 2 forms of contact for every single person that is in the collab. That is my main tip. I'm sorry, I just had to say it. It's so important. You have to be able to contact the people that you're working with.
If I may, I'd like to add something if possible.
Sure.
So for anyone wanting to do a reanimated project,
Don't.
so first of all, you have to be passionate, like genuinely passionate about the thing you are recreating. Like you have to be prepared to if it's something you know major or you know particularly long form, you have to be prepared to put a lot of your time, perhaps even years, into it. If you were not prepared to do that, don't do it.
Yeah. It's a lot of work, and honestly, if you don't care enough about it, then it's not worth it.
It isn't just something you can just passively do. You have to be a genuinely involved. Yeah.
And another thing is prove that you're serious about it from
Absolutely.
step one, because the thing is, right, okay, so the way that you prove that you're serious about it in the later process is by showing how many good animators you have and things like this, you know, how seriously people are taking it. But how you prove it at the start is by just you know, taking it seriously yourself. You know, if you're writing out to people, reaching out to them, telling them about the project, tell them what your intentions are with it, you know, just like write out a lot, you know, of what you hope to achieve with it, and what, like, just basically show how much you care about the project. Like, that's kind of just adding on to what was said before, but yeah.
Absolutely.
And if I may say something, another thing is, like, not everything really like deserves a reanimated project. Like there has to be a lot of people who are, you know, not as passionate as the host, but like still have a want and need to like reanimate something from something, and you need to have every little bit of a movie or episode like, you know, done. So it needs to be something like honestly big enough,
Cohesive.
For example, like one of my favorite movies is Help I'm a Fish. It's what inspired like this character that I have as my profile picture, and basically I love that movie, and I would love to reanimate it, be a host of reanimating it. But the thing is, I know that no one would care about that project, because that movie is so like, no one knows about that movie, so it would kind of be pointless. You know, we would never get people for it.
I would do a 3-second clip just for you, Kane.
I appreciate that, mate.
I would too. I would probably do like a 1-second clip, because I got too much on my plate right now. But if you did it, I would contribute as much as I could.
Well, there you go. So we have like 2 out of 400 people.
There we go. We're all
I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, I just want to add one more thing. Communication is so key that most reanimated things are primarily online focused. At least me, I'm much better communicating in person, but you have to be able to like articulate things mostly through text most of the time, and it's very tough to, especially with people that like you probably have never even talked to, like animators and stuff. So you just have to really know how to communicate with people. It's tough. So just know that that's a huge aspect, and you also have to like, you know, have notifications on to be able to like contact people and be up sometimes weird hours of the night looking at you, Kane. and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I
Like,
think
I'm
that
like 5 hours ahead of everyone else, and it was kind of a nightmare having to like do things like tasks at night with them, because it would be like 4 a.m. for me and like 10 p.m. for everyone else or something.
Yeah, it got rough for Kane. Shout out to Kane.
Yeah, thank you. Shout out to everyone, man. Like everyone has just been amazing throughout this whole thing. I couldn't have asked for like better people to work with. We couldn't have asked for better animators to work with, and voice actors, and just musicians, you know, tribute wall artists. Everyone has just been amazing. Even just like the community, the people watching it, you know, have just poured the support in for the movie, and it's just been incredible to watch.
Not everything has to have like a reanimation. I personally feel like if it's newer, then it definitely shouldn't be reanimated. But if it's like a classic kind of thing, or like a childhood type of thing, then that's when it deserves to be like reanimated. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because if it's recent, then it feels like you're almost disrespecting the work, because you want to remake it and make like a different version of it. I don't know. That's just what it feels like to me personally.
Yeah. Well, if there's something that a lot of people just know in and out, you know, like they've seen it so many times that they know all the lines from it, that's a pretty good thing to reanimate, because yeah, exactly, like
That's fair, yeah. I don't know.
if it's older, of course, like
Yeah.
I just think that things have to get to like a legacy status to be able to really have this treatment done to it.
Yeah.
You know?
yeah, which the first SpongeBob movie definitely is.
I agree.
Yeah, that came out early 2000s, so that was like 20 years ago-ish. And
2004.
Yeah.
Huh?
2004.
Yeah.
Almost 20, yeah.
Yeah, but like, you know, that's something from even like adults like me's childhood. And you know, it's one of the most influential cartoons of all time. So, of course, we were going to have like at least some kind of a following. You got to have like a good reputation behind things, behind like what you want to do, or else it's not going to be incredibly successful. And that's just how the internet works, you know? Like Kane said, you can't make like a Help I'm a Fish reanimated, because not a lot of people would really care about it.
I mean, I hope people prove me wrong, but
Yeah. I'm sorry, that's, you know what I mean though, right?
yeah, of course.
But I was gonna say what makes this project so special, and what I think draws so many people to it, is that it's ultimately a tribute to Steven Hillenburg. And so, like that alone, like reanimated projects often are the most successful ones, I find. Need some sort of purpose, need some sort of reason to be. And in this project's case, it was initially conceived like a year after Steven Hillenburg's passing.
Oh, you know what?
Yeah.
I have something to say after you say that.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course. But yeah, I mean, like that's like I think that's a major thing of what drew people to this project, wanting to pay tribute to someone whose work impacted them. So paying a tribute to that, and finding a way to pay your respects and do something for such a cause, you know, that makes a difference.
100%. And you know, going back to the first question that you had, Sasha, about like the tribulations thing. What was hard for us? One thing that like I've really hated, you know, witnessing after this project has gone up. It didn't really happen during the production of the project, but afterwards. So basically, from the inception of this thing, this project was entirely dedicated to Stephen Hillenburg. You know, and that's been known from conception. Did I say inception?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I sure did too. It's okay.
That's all right.
From the conception of this thing, the whole thing has been a tribute to Stephen Hillenburg. We've made that known, you know, very clearly. While it was in production, people knew that they were signing up to do a tribute for Stephen Hillenburg the whole way through. And what's really like, and even in the final product, people have been like trying to insinuate that we were using Stephen Hillenburg as like a scapegoat to get this to get eyes on this project and to get like it, to make sure that it stays up online and things like this. And no matter what you think of this project, whether you think it's great, whether you think it's awful, right? The even just like insinuating that is such well, I don't really want to say like, but a slimy thing to do, because
it is. It's a slimy thing. Like we don't know if he would. We don't know if he would like it or not. We're not trying to assume that, but you know, we're trying to show our appreciation and love for his work and for, you know, what we knew of him as a person. And we've always done that. That's always been what we mean to do. And anyone who claims otherwise can, you know, they can go back in our channel history and our Twitter history and all that other kind of stuff and see that that's absolutely like what it was the whole time.
Exactly.
100%. Even before we took over.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's what the original creator like wanted it to be like.
Yeah.
Oh, and like,
Sorry, to be honest, if Stephen hadn't died in 2018, I don't think that this project would have even been made, to be honest, because that's part of the battle, you know. So that was definitely like, I would say that's probably been the hardest part for me, because it really like shows how negative some people can be. Like, I had higher hopes for people that they would just assume something like that.
Well, you know, to be fair though, like once you get a certain amount of traction, you're gonna get just as many like negative reviews as there are like positive ones. But you know, that's funny. I haven't seen nearly as many negative ones as I expected to, knowing that, you know, and I think that's something that's really meant a lot to me, is that our community has, and like not even just our community, but the people who've been watching everything that we've done, like they've all been so supportive. And I can maybe think of like 5 or 6 times I've seen negative comments anywhere. And they were in notorious sections of the internet, you know, like Reddit or Twitter, a couple ones on Twitter. And there was like a YouTube video or 2.
Yeah.
There are constructive criticisms as well, and we do look at those and think those as well.
100%.
Yeah. It's more, we're more talking about like the ones that are saying like, oh yeah, these guys are slimy. Like we're not trying to be slimy, and we really hope that we haven't been, but you know, we have an entire community that says that we've done the right thing, you know.
I mean, the fact that it impacted so many people positively, you know, says a lot.
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to impact people positively. We wanted to get our creators some publicity. Yeah, recognition, publicity. We wanted to pay our respects to a guy that made a lot of our childhoods what they were. You know, like, just on that same note, it's kind of funny. When I was in high school, my band was like obsessed with SpongeBob, and everything was SpongeBob themed all of the time. I'm pretty sure one of our senior songs were a SpongeBob song. No, yeah, we did the one from the Bubble Bowl.
Sweet Victory.
Yeah, we did Sweet Victory at one point. It was amazing.
So I want to piggyback on like the kind of like the first response, or maybe the first question. So me and Tyler are actually moderators for the Reanimation Station Discord, and like the Twitter account as well, and there are a bunch of projects that are being made just for like being made. And sometimes, like, you can come across projects that, like, shouldn't be made in the first place. There was a project that was complete, except, it was made using, like, a leaked animatic, and everybody was, like, a bit on the fence about that. Because, it wasn't, like, finished in the first place. And some things are like kind of being made for like joke purposes, and I guess that's like fair, but sometimes it's if it's not a joke in the first place, then maybe it's best you don't really like make it a joke, because you're basically disrespecting the people that worked on it, and whether or not it's like a good thing. Or, like, yeah, if it's a good thing that was made by, like, people trying to just do their job, then maybe it's best we don't do that. And then some things that are, like, being made immediately after it's been released. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the kind of thing I have an issue with. Like, yeah, no, I don't want to give any specific examples, but I definitely just feel like there's certain things that really need to just be left alone for several years before they become candidates to, like, be remade in any way.
I agree.
There are also some things that are, like, impossible to reanimate. Like, a couple years ago, I think it might be canceled now, but there was a Spider-Verse reanimate, and I'm pretty sure...
Yeah.
Oh my god, that is that is not a good idea.
Yep, I heard about that.
That is not a great idea.
So recent.
Whoa.
That just sounds hard. It just sounds hard in general.
It seems hard.
Yeah, it's hard, and it was the fact that, like, it was, like, in 2019, literally...
Oh my god, okay, no.
There's no way to make any shot of that movie any better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You can only make it worse.
Yeah, so it's more like, you know, why even try to do something like that? That's like a masterpiece of animation.
Yeah. Who Framed Roger Rabbit reanimated?
No.
I swear that exists.
No,
Like,
it does. Somebody posted it in reanimation.
Really?
Oh god, no.
so what's next, bitches?
Regarding the film, we're working on a remastered version, basically revising any errors and reanimating a couple of scenes and alterations and blah 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 blah. Like basically just like a revised version of the film, removing any errors and things along those lines, for a future little something. Additionally, we're also working on a soundtrack that not only covers all of the songs on the original soundtrack CD, but also includes a couple of extra songs, and as well as the film's orchestral score and a couple of other things like that. As for me personally, I'm working on a couple of things for university. I am primarily focusing on finishing university before doing any other similar projects going forward. So yeah, university for me.
What are some of your focuses at university?
I'm working on getting my bachelor's degree. I'm a convergent media major, so like things like media and film, things like that.
I don't even want to do animation stuff after this, to be honest. Like, no, seriously, like I want to.
No, I know.
I want to go into like safari work or like oceanology work or something like that.
Oh, dude, that'd be awesome.
For real.
And you're a fish, so you'd fit right in.
Exactly. But if the right project came along, then maybe I'd consider like being a part of it. I'm not sure.
Jasmine.
Exactly, like Jazzman. which like the hit show Jazzman, which you should go and subscribe to.
Yeah. I'm working on a pilot for an original show right now. It's called Jazzman. It's about a world where live music generates magic, like tangible magic. And it's about a kid who learns how to be a musician while also learning like how to make their way in life as a young adult.
That actually sounds really sweet.
The Discord server link is in the partners section of the server, so
Find it in the description below.
I'm a student right now. Same with Retro, except my focus is kind of like I'm kind of going into like a little bit of project management, but I'm also I go to a college that's kind of like you focus on like a certain part of the pipeline, kind of. So you kind of like take a lot of classes based on a certain thing, and it's a 3D animation focused school. So I'm focusing a lot on 3D rigging, but I'm also kind of doing some 3D animation general stuff, and also just learning other parts of the pipeline. But outside of that, I'm kind of doing like a few things on Jasmine, and yeah, that's all.
So that's all we have for the time, I'm afraid, but is there anything else anybody would like to say?
Thank you to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Yes to Scottish independence.
Black Lives Matter.
Watch SpongeBob Rehydrated.
Yeah, we love you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, honestly.
Oh, Mum, I'm doing an interview. Huh? What? Yeah, I know. I'll try and be quiet.
Please keep that in.
Oh wait,
Get
did you guys hear that?
Yes, yes, we did.
I turned my mic off.
Right.
I turned my mic off on the actual microphone on the Blue Yeti.
I guess that's a Discord glitch.
Oh,
Shout out to your mom.
And then it turns out Kane wasn't the host at all.
oh no.
The real host was the friends we made along the way.
The real host was some dude.
Yeah, okay.
You'll be okay, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. I'm shy.
You got this.
It's okay. You're doing good. Keep going. You're a little
I
champion.
don't know what to say.
I feel like if Kane like intentionally lowered his voice a little bit, he could probably do a good impression of you.
How are you all doing?
Yeah, so what's next, bitches?
Yeah, so what's next, bitch? I like that.
I can ask that. That's something I can say. So what's next, bitches?